You're going to put that on. Ridiculous.
It's not San Jose.
It looks like San Jose.
It's
But
not
anyways,
San Jose.
welcome everybody to another episode of Designated Players Podcast. We're out here waffling like usual. Episode 18, question mark?
Did you say waffling?
Waffling about. Yes, we're on episode 18 of season 2. We had 44 in the first one, so that is 62. We are episode 62. We are making our way to 100, my friend. Making our way.
Nice little math work by you.
That's what they pay me for. So today's episode is going to cover mainly the All-Star game roster, who made it, who didn't, who should have made it, who shouldn't have made it, and then also transfer. We had a really crazy transfer window. Probably the best transfer window in the last couple of years related to MLS specifically. Lots of big moves, lots of big names through the door, lots of familiar names to other places. So we'll go through all those, we'll cover all of those, and we'll talk about who probably got the best out of this transfer window, who's been the most successful, and we'll also tie it back to how when the window started, because we did this episode to start our second season, and everybody yelled at us that the transfer window had just opened. So now we can actually take a look full circle. Minnesota fans, we're talking to you. But before we do all that, as always, we have to rip scarf of the week. I'll just go ahead and say I broke out just another Red Bull scarf. I think it's upside down, so I'll flip it. Oh yeah, we'll go New York on one side. Whoosh. Red Bulls on the other. A little bit of a white and red design. And it does not meet in the middle, but it does have the crest right on the edge there. A little bit of a candy cane stripe look. I got to get new scarves, man. I got to start investing.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the winter sale again.
So you can buy just 100 of them.
Yeah, they're like $2. Of course, I'm gonna buy them then.
Yeah.
So despite what you were thinking before, this is not a Jackson Ewell San Jose scarf, but I might have to invest in that now just to piss you off. This is a fake team that does not exist anymore. Hold on, I don't think the name's on this.
You get the impact? Yeah. The impact. All right. I told you that you weren't allowed to have a scarf until you got Pokemon Machop Chol.
Yeah, I know.
You need to find that. Or Adam is only allowed back if that is his first scarf of the week. I'm putting that into writing.
I'm going to see if I can find it right now on Google.
Yeah. So we're going to start with the All-Star roster and really just have a chat about the players that are in and kind of just, I guess, outline who we think probably could have been there instead of them. So we'll start in the back. We'll start in the back because we always love a good goalkeeper shout. This one, pretty straightforward. I have no problems with this at all. Matt Turner from New England, a coach's pick, which I think is a robbery. And Pedro Vitae voted in. I'll be honest with you, I'm just happy that I don't see Brad Guzan in here. Really happy I don't see a lot of Atlanta players in here.
You're just a hater.
I'm just a hater. Yeah, right. No, we'll talk about some players who I don't think should be in there, but that's a different story.
Can you send me the link that you're using to just so we can like follow along at the same time?
I can. And you know what? I'm gonna send it in chat because apparently that's like the cool thing to do now.
It's right there.
You're so like.
Otherwise, what do you want me to do? Send you an email? You want me to fax it to you?
Yeah, hit me up with that fax, my guy. Fax, no printer. All right, so like I said, Pedro Vitae is a voted-in player. It's his first All-Star game since he joined from Veracruz. He was in the best 11 for MLS's back tournament last year. Golden Glove in that tournament as well. Led the Lions to a spot in the final match of that tournament, and had 70 saves and 4 clean sheets in 24 matches in 2020, and then 6 unbeaten with 4 clean sheets in his first 6 matches for Orlando City. I think it's pretty clear that his performances speak for themselves. I think he's a fantastic goalkeeper. No questions about it. Thoughts?
Yeah, you could make the case for a couple other guys as well. Not saying those guys don't deserve to be there because they definitely do. But like Andre Blake will always be in the conversation. Even Red Bull's goalkeeper, I feel like has had a good season. Yeah.
You would definitely have not watched enough of Carlos Coronel then, because his positioning is not worthy of. I mean, half the time that he plays, the positioning isn't even worthy of being on that field. So, All-Star.
In some fairness to him, he's got center. He's got. I feel like
He's got our 5th and 6th choice center backs in front of him. I'm not blaming him for that, but his positioning for any of that is pretty poor. So, other thoughts on Gallese?
No, fine with Gallese being in there. I think a healthy Stefan Fry makes his case for this, but obviously he's out.
Yep.
Yeah, no real complaints there. I
feel like Joe Willis might be snubbed here. Nashville having a very, very solid season, back up in the top. Are they still top 2? I know when I looked last time they were.
They are 4 right now.
They're 4. Okay, so they were top 2 when we were talking about making this episode. I just remember that. But yeah, I think it's been. I think they've been kind of robbed there. I think a lot of Nashville players have been kind of robbed here.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I mean, I just think Joe Willis is never going to make it in just because he's not a big flashy name.
No, he's not. But if you look at it, they've conceded the least goals in the entire season outside of Seattle.
No, yeah, I'm not saying it's wrong.
Yeah,
I'm just saying he's not going to get in because it's not a. I mean, they might as well just call it the celebrity game because that's really all that matters. If you're an MLS quote unquote celebrity, you're going to get in this game.
No, for sure. And we talk about that all the time. I mean, you look at Atlanta's first year in the league. That's exactly what happened. So,
yep.
And then Matt Turner, we've spoken about him ad nauseum. So,
crazy that he ends up being the coach's pick. In my opinion, right. He should have been the voted in first choice.
Yeah, I think if this vote happens after the Gold Cup, he's there, no question.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But because it was beforehand, and they're like, I don't know. Okay, so we'll move on to the defenders. I'll just give a run through of who it is, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. Voted in: Walker Zimmerman, Yeimar Gomez Andrade, Alex Roldan, Nuhu, and that's who's been voted in. Those are your 4 that were voted in. You can kind of get a theme of the who controlled the votes. And then the coach brought along Kai Wagner, James Sands, Miles Robinson, and Jesus Murillo from LAFC, along with Julian Araujo from LA. So I guess breaking down, Walker Zimmerman seems like a moot pick. I think he deserved to be there, but will he actually be there based off of that injury that he had? I'm not sure. Either way, he definitely deserves to be there. We know about his ability. Yeimar Gomez Andrade.
I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it.
Seattle's
the best defensive team in the league. I have no problem with it. Yeah, MLS record best start, 8-0-5, allowing less than 1 goal per game during that run. MLS Cup run, good in the air, no questions there. Kai Wagner, good pick from the coach.
Yeah,
I think we talk about him a lot. That's why I'm kind of running through these because there are some people we're definitely going to need to talk about. James Sands is not one of those people. I think this is also a good pick by the coach, and he probably would have been selected again if the Gold Cup was before the selection. I think he would have been there. Miles Robinson, same deal. Coach's pick, probably would have been in there if Seattle weren't controlling it. I haven't watched enough of LAFC, so now we'll go into the kind of the questionable ones. Haven't
Yeah.
watched enough of LAFC to get a feel for Jesus Murillo. So thoughts on him?
Just like obviously I agree with you. I haven't seen enough to really say one way or another, but the pick kind of just feels like well, was he was a coach's choice or was he voted in? I don't remember.
Coach's choice.
Okay.
By the way, who's coaching this team? Side note.
It's a good question.
I don't actually know who this is. Where are they playing?
Got to say something in here in this article.
Bob Bradley.
Bob.
That explains
That
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That might be a little bit of a favoritism pick.
We'll move on there because that explains everything.
I mean, he might genuinely like deserve it, and we just have no idea. But certainly on paper, when your head coach is picking you as a coach's pick, doesn't look very great.
Especially when your team is 5th in the West and has given up 23 goals this season in 17 games.
Yeah.
In 9 matches, he has averaged 83 minutes each and played a crucial role in the Champions League final run. He started 15 out of 16 matches to kick off 2021. Okay. I mean, again, I'm not too disappointed about anything. I think the biggest thing for me is nobody from Red Bull we're taking, which means nobody can get hurt. We have enough injuries to deal with. Alex Roldan voted in by Seattle Sounders fans everywhere. It's a no from me. Yes, that he is a part of the team that is giving up the least goals in the league right now. But he just made his appearance with El Salvador playing center mid. He has efficiency not only in the defensive back line, but also on the attacking front as a 25-year-old defender is tied for 3rd in the club with 4 goals and assists. This seems kind of a stretch to me. What do you think?
I feel like any other year, if you told me Alex Roldan is in the All-Star game, I'm going to question your sanity. This year, I'm not like I don't know how to like say it right. Like I know he probably like there's definitely, I shouldn't say definitely, but in my opinion, there's better choices than Alex Roldan. But at the same time, I think he's had a good season so far in a team that's been the best defensive in the league. In my opinion, I'd probably take Brandon By over Alex Roldan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm about that.
But I'm not gonna like make too much of a like. I'm not gonna get too upset over the pick because I can like it's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah. Nuhu, again, kind of like a Kamar Lawrence type of needs to be in there because of the way he plays, but also played every minute of Seattle's first 8 matches. Again, it seems like the Seattle voted in theme is iffy there. I think Arujo's a good pickup though by Bob Bradley. I think he's had a really good season. He's gotten his men's national team call up. He is at 3 assists in 3 matches, 1 goal and 8 assists over his entire career. But he's really starting to pick up production, and he's also starting to keep himself in the focus of Greg's team and playing consistently for LA too. I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, I agree. I like that one as well, and like seeing some of the MLS young talent get on these big stages like this.
Absolutely, yeah. There are very few people you could convince me deserve to be in here from any team that's not really like pushing for playoffs. So like I wouldn't say like, oh, a Kyle Duncan or a Tom Edwards deserves to be in here. Miles Robinson is an exception for that because I think the reason Atlanta are doing so poorly is because he was gone for so long. So I can definitely live with that. But again, you know, if we're looking at teams like, again, New England, you pick up New England. You know, Dan Lovitz, I think probably from Nashville deserves it over Alex Roldan, right?
Yeah, even him or Romney,
Dave Romney too. Again, a
Keegan
team
Rosenberry.
Keegan might get one. Yeah, again, a lot of people who probably should be in here over the players voted in, but no complaints with people who are there. Move on to midfielders.
Yeah,
I'll just run through the names really quickly.
that's
Atuesta, coach's pick. Bob. Carlos Hill voted in. Damir Krylik, coach's pick. Okay. João Paulo voted in. Seattle fans. Emmanuel Reynoso, coach's pick. Christian Roldan voted in. Seattle fans. And Lucas Zellaround voted in. So big ones that stand out for me, not really much to talk about. Lucas Zellaround, obviously. Carlos Hill, obviously. João Paulo, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
He's a lot more higher up the field than I expected him to be this season. 5 assists this season. So with Ladero being out, he's really filled in there. So I'm okay with it. Christian Roldan. Again, a very versatile, use all over the pitch type of player. Could you put somebody else in that role? Maybe. I think Caden Clark snubbed. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't put Caden Clark in these games. Okay. The other ones, thoughts on that before we jump into the kind of questionable ones?
Yeah, I think Zellaround makes sense. I like João Paulo being in there. He has to be the most assured.
Yeah.
Roldan. I like Roldan as a player, just normally.
Mhm.
So I'm fine with him being in here. I think he's the most like deserving based on play in the league during the year. I don't know, but I do think he's talented enough to be in here.
Definitely. Yeah, the big one for me is deserving versus talent, because that's always been the conversation over the last couple of years, right? When you leave it to a fan vote, is it, yeah, they're probably a good player, but has their season deserved it, right? And I'm sure we can go pull stats really quickly and find somebody who might be a little bit better. Let me just close my eyes and throw a dartboard and say, anybody in Colorado.
I'd like to see. Well, no, I wouldn't replace Roldan with this guy. I would replace a different person, but we'll get to that. I think. Wait, let me check to make sure he's not here, because this is kind of criminal.
I wonder if Busio would have been like.
Okay, so he's not here. So let me just say this. It is absolutely criminal that Hani Mukhtar is not in this game.
Right?
That is so criminal. This man has had an extraordinary season.
Nashville has been absolutely just fleeced in this fan vote, whatever.
I mean, they were never going to get the fan vote. We know that. But they needed to get the coach's pick.
I don't think the coach has picked, and I have to check when we go up top. I don't think he picked one player from the Eastern Conference. He didn't.
Nope.
Everybody picked.
Why are there so little midfielders?
Just kidding. He picked Gustavo Bo, and then big old Don picked Tajon Buchanan. And he picked another one. I got to find out who it is, but go ahead. Keep going.
Did he pick Pepe?
Yes. The
No, that was coach's pick.
I thought you meant the coach picking. Yeah.
Oh, Cade Cowell was the other commissioner's pick.
Don needs his money.
Oh yeah, he's like,
Look
see
at him
these assets.
play. Get him for more money.
Um, why are there's like 80 defenders on this team and there's like 4 midfielders?
Yeah, no, they're just gonna
What's
go
the deal with
4-2-4 and run.
I
Run
don't
it.
like there should absolutely
And
be more
there's like 3
midfielders.
defensive midfielders. Like Liga MX players are going to go ham.
Yeah, I have no idea why.
Yeah.
We took
Roldan's gonna be
so
left on an island.
all right, so should we get to the rest of them then?
Yeah. Emmanuel Reynoso, coach's pick.
This is a hard one.
This is a hard one because we talked about him having a struggling year.
I just don't think he's put up numbers. Like he's had
the
2
numbers
goals, 2 assists, but I still feel like he's been a very good player. He's just not.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say he's just not like putting in the box score numbers essentially.
This to me is the quintessential good player doesn't deserve it. This is based off of the way that they have played. 6, there's 6. They've scored 19 goals. But based off of the way others have played versus him, I don't think he deserves it. Am I a little salty because I've captained him in fantasy 4 times? He's gotten me 0 return? Maybe. But you know what? At the end of the day, right, you're looking at players like Gadi Kinda. Does Gadi Kinda deserve it? Maybe. And I think Busio probably was left out of it for a reason.
Because he's leaving.
Yeah. Again, Hani Mukhtar. I'd put Hani Mukhtar in over Emmanuel Reynoso.
True. But right now, I would take out Hani Mukhtar. I would put in Hani Mukhtar for Roldan.
Either way, I think Hani Mukhtar obviously deserves to be in there.
Would you put? This would never happen. But would you put like someone like Jordi Mihailovic or Christian Caceres in there instead of him, instead of Reynoso?
No, Caceres doesn't deserve it, and Mihailovic has been good, not great.
Would you do Madron or Maxi Morales?
I thought about Maxi. I don't know about Maxi. I thought about Madron. No, he hasn't had enough of an impact. Again, I think it's a very Western Conference heavy because of the coach. But if we're going to go start picking people who don't have great stats but are really good players, where's Alejandro Pozuelo?
He's had a really rough year.
He has. But if we're going to go ahead and put players with 2 goals, 2 assists,
I think Pozuelo didn't even like play half the year though. Wasn't he hurt?
Yeah, he's been a little hurt. I'm just putting.
I know you're just throwing names out there.
Yeah, right. But
I don't know if you're looking for defensive mids. Give me Alex Ring.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. I mean, I'm just throwing names out there. But let's do this.
I mean, I'm gonna throw a name out here. I think it's a little bit recency bias, which is why I also don't think he was in consideration at the time. But Jose Cifuentes.
Okay.
He's had 5 goals, 3 assists for LAFC, and I feel like he's been red hot lately.
Here's a really good one. Matías Pereira, second in the league in assists right now behind Carlos Hill, who's doing things that no human should ever do. He's got 7 assists. Nani has 6. He also has a goal. He's got a goal and 7 assists. And if I scroll all the way down, Emmanuel Reynoso, 2 goals, 5 assists. They're the same player. Mauricio Pereira's got him. Got his team to 2nd place, where Reynoso's sitting in 6th right now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think there's better choices. I mean, if you're looking to put out the best talent, sure, I think he deserves to be there. But if you're looking to actually, have an American sports all-star game that's typically, technically what they're doing is American sports All-Star games,
Yes.
just a celebrity fest. But
Yep.
if it's really supposed to be an All-Star game, it's supposed to be the best in that season. And I feel like I agree with you in that it should be someone other than Reynoso. But at the same time, I'm not going to complain about him being there because I know he's
Definitely not.
crazy talent.
Definitely not. I think he's a good enough player where he can step on the field and be completely capable against Liga MX players.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna go ahead and just pick players who deserve to be in there, Marisa Pereira has been absolutely fleeced. So is Hani Mukhtar. Damir Krylik, coaches picked.
I'm all on board for him being there.
Yeah, 7 goals, 5 assists this season.
Yeah, he's been the heart and soul of that RSL team this season.
Yep, absolutely here for it. He's had an absolute flyer. And then Atuesta, coach's pick.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. It's kind of the same thing as Reynoso. He's obviously very talented. I just don't think he's had the strongest season this season. Like I shouldn't. It's
One
not
goal,
me saying he's
one goal, 4 assists.
He's not had a bad season, but it's just I think there's guys that have had better seasons. And
I mean, again, Jack Price has 0 goals, 5 assists, but he's also playmaker over there. Alvaro Madron, 1 goal, 5 assists. Randall Leal, 3 goals, 5 assists. Again, that we talk about Nashville being fleeced, but now I'm getting angry because Orlando and Nashville were absolutely robbed, which is tough to say.
I know. At least Orlando have some people. I don't think Nashville has a single player.
Nashville has Walker Zimmerman, but he won't play.
Yeah. Okay. So then basically no players because he's not even going to play.
Yep. Okay. Pause. All righty. So we're moving back to forwards now. We're moving to the last little bit.
Yeah.
I don't have anything more to say. We'll move in. This is basically a bunch of Western Conference strikers and Gustavo Bo and Tejan Buchanan. But the strikers the attackers are Carlos Vela, Daniel Shallowy, Raul Ruiz-Diaz voted in. Vela was also voted in. Shallowy was a coach's pick. Diego Rossi, coach's pick. Bobby. Ricardo Pepi, coach's pick. Probably with a little bit of Don on the back saying, hey.
I ran out of picks. Can you do this one for me?
Picks, and I need somebody to
get
more
a solid.
Get him on. Nani voted in, and then Chicharito voted in. Man, I wish Adam was here. Cade Cowell, the commissioner's pick. Tejan Buchanan, commissioner's pick. And Gustavo Bo, a coach's pick. The only Eastern Conference coach's pick that there is. Carlos Vela voted in.
He's surprisingly put up. I was looking at it because, like, off the bat, I'm thinking, like, what has he done at all?
What has he done?
5 and 5. He's got 5 and 5. What? Like, I was shocked. I was like, when did he do that?
If we're talking about shocking revelations, Daniel Shallowy's got 10 and 5.
Yeah, you didn't know that? He's been killing it this season.
No, I'll be honest with you. My knowledge of the Western Conference has been a little lax this year.
Nah, he's one of the most deserving guys on this list to be there. I'm glad he is because he's not a big name.
Good. That's really good because I know he's been he's had like a career like this where he came onto the scene. He was up here, like everybody was so hyped about him. Somehow he like was born in Hungary, but is a homegrown player. Don't know how that works, but then he kind of fell off a little bit, like 2-3 goals, and came back up again. So it's good to see him back in there. Raul Ruiz-Diaz, obviously, currently leading the race for Golden Boot with 11. Diego Rossi, 5 goals and an assist this year. Really good last year.
We'll get to that one.
Yeah.
There's more to say on that one.
Ricardo Pepi blowing it up right now. Super excited for this guy. Again, I think this is probably a little bit of a
Donald shoulder bump.
Donald letting them know, hey, we got to get these guys sold. We're trying to make money.
I bet they definitely were like, they were picking people, and then he scored the hat trick, and they were like, well, now we got to put him in there.
Yep. Nani, 8 goals, 6 assists, obviously. Chicharito blew up in the beginning of the year until he got hurt. So hopefully he can come back and play. When's the last time he played? I feel like he's been gone forever.
Yeah, I feel like he's been out for a while, which is crazy too. The fact that he's been out for this long and he's still
joined second. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
Cade Cowell. Donald wants some Garber bucks. Tajon Buchanan, I think, has already kind of secured that, but I think that's probably the right pick there. I think he's blown up. He was so good in the Gold Cup as an attacker, but he's also really good as a defender. Either way, I think he's definitely deserving to be there. And Gustavo Bo, of course, also joint second with 3 assists as well. So really, the only questionable ones here. Cade Cowell, I'll put in there. Just like I said, he had a really good start to the year. MLS Player of the Week for week 3. Kind of been non-existent since then. Okay. Diego Rossi. Let's talk about Diego Rossi. Actually, I'll let you talk about Diego Rossi.
I'm just gonna say right now, this is by far the most favoritism pick in the list.
Tell me about it.
No question. I understand that he was like top scorer, MVP level player last year, but that was last year. This season, he's been not Diego Rossi. 5 goals and 1 assist. Come on. And you're in the All-Star game. That's, if anybody else is the coach, he's not making it in. No question.
Trying to think. Adam Buxa, 8 goals, 1 assist. Ola Kamara, 9 goals, 2 assists. Gonzalo Higuain, 7 goals, 2 assists.
Nope, not a chance.
Alan Polito, 7-1. Mason Toy, 7-0. Tati Castellanos, 6-4.
I'd take Jesus Medina over Diego Rossi.
Yeah.
I'd take Robin Lod.
These are all really weird names to say Brian White. But
you mean Tom Barlow?
I know, we can't even make that joke anymore.
All right, what about Frank O'Hara?
Frank O'Hara is the reason Ricardo Pepe is still here, because he's taken 3/4 of his game time.
I'd even take Fabio over Diego Rossi for this.
Fabio had like 3 good games and just blew up.
Yeah, he's got 3 goals, 6 assists. That guy's a playmaker.
He's a defensive striker. We're using the Liverpool approach.
It's the system.
See, we're okay right now, but give us like 3 years and like $90 million, we're in. Yeah, like I said, that Diego Rossi is definitely a, hey buddy, you got snubbed out of an All-Star game last year, so here you go.
Gotcha.
Good thing I'm coaching, otherwise you probably wouldn't be here. Yeah, so that's the only real questionable one. I think if Chicharito's healthy, he'll be fine. Rui Diaz, obviously. Shallowy, obviously. Vela, sure.
Yeah.
But Diego Rossi and Cade Cowell are the 2 that are liking.
I'm okay with Cade Cowell. I do think it's a little bit of Don wanting some Garber bucks, but I think he's had a good enough season that, like, has he had maybe the best season to get in there? Questionable. There's probably some people that slightly edge him out, but he's young and exciting enough that he'll sell some All-Star jerseys and get some Garber bucks.
Totally fair. Christian DeJome, 8 goals, 2 assists for Vancouver, who are bottom of the West, but
yeah,
cool.
I was gonna say, I think he could be in the conversation, but I wouldn't put him in just off the fact that Vancouver's in dead last.
You couldn't. There's no leg to stand on there. Adam Buxa, 8 goals on 6 sub appearances through 18 games. That's pretty.
When you have the best player maker in the league on your team.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. But yeah, so those are our thoughts on the All-Star game. I think Bob has gone and given a big hug to all of his friends in LAFC. I think the Seattle fans have gone and played we're not letting Atlanta beat us this year. And I think Don is focused solely on making Garber bucks.
Yeah, I think
so. It's another normal All-Star game.
That's if you were to sum up the entire All-Star game roster in 3 bullet points, you just nailed it on the head. That is exactly how it. That's a perfect way to describe it.
Perfect, and then that means it's a perfect time to segue. We are looking at the transfer window. We have had probably the biggest transfer window in the entirety of the MLS history, in the history of MLS, if you will. Youth moving for big money, big signings coming in to help win games. Inter Miami probably breaking other rules to get there. But we're just going to go through and kind of highlight kind of the big signings for each side here. I've scrolled all the way down to the bottom of this list here, Connor. I don't know about you, but so we're here now at Colorado. Colorado's big main signings. Mark Anthony Kaye from LAFC for $1 million. Dominic Badji from Nashville for $100,000. And Lucas Estevez from Palmeiras on loan. All while sending our good buddy Sam Vines out the door to Royal Antwerp in Belgium for $2 million. How do you think they did?
I really like the signing of Mark Anthony Kaye.
Yep.
Badji, I don't know if he makes much of a difference either way. It's kind of like this says they paid 100,000. I got to imagine that's probably, if that is accurate, it's probably 100,000 GAM or TAM.
Yeah, it was a GAM signing. Yep.
I don't really think, for how much they paid, there really isn't much of a risk in it. So I don't really see a problem with it. I don't know anything about Lucas Estevez, but if Sam Vines is gone, then maybe he's a good replacement for him.
Yeah, it had to be we got to get somebody through the door, and everybody's been rating Brazil recently, so hopefully that is a good like for like, and they don't really miss a beat.
Yeah. And then in terms of selling, I like that, from a USMNT fan perspective, I like that Vines is getting over into Europe and getting some game time there. From an MLS perspective, I feel like they could have got more out of it for him.
Yeah.
I feel like $2 million is kind of cheap, especially when you see Gianluca Busio going for like 11 million.
Right. If that's the correct fee, right? We don't know. I don't know if that's
I think that's
accurate.
that's including some add-ons and stuff too.
Yeah.
But still, let's just say Busio ends up being 11 million. Are you telling me that you think Sam Vines is like a sixth of the player that Gianluca Busio is right now?
Yeah. I mean, he gives you a lot as an attacking wingback, but what does he give you on the defensive end? That's kind of where he's lacking, right? So if they're going to put the time and effort to develop him as a defender to sell him on later, awesome. I would hope that they got some sort of sell-on fee for him.
Yeah.
But again, I think Mark Anthony Kaye needed to switch up in where they were at, or where he was at. He needed to change the scenery. I think Colorado has made really good moves to put them in a spot to challenge for the top of the West. Currently sitting in fourth right now, right above LAFC. They are 6 points out from SKC in Seattle. Are they going to catch them? Who knows? But I think that's a really good move to solidify the center of midfield, especially with Kellen Acosta most likely going off for a lot of the World Cup qualifiers. I mean, he'll probably go with Canada as well. But to fill in those spaces will probably be a good signing for them. So overall, they've only really lost about $100,000, give or take. So not too bad in the business end there. Good for them. I think that's a good window for them. I mean, I'm not going to give them grades or anything, but if I were to grade them, I'd give them probably a B plus.
I was thinking B minus.
Yeah, probably could have gotten more out of Sam Vines, but
yeah.
Minnesota's been quiet. They have.
Did you see the thing today about
I was just about to
Ramon Avila?
Ramon Avila. is working on being loaned to DC United after they got him on loan from Boca. So basically what they're trying to do is say, hey, Boca, we don't like your player. We want to loan him. Instead of giving him back, we want to loan him to a different team who wants him. Can we just transfer the loan? Sure. Why not? The other thing that we got to talk about is that they also bought out Ike Opara. Ike Opara no longer with the team. And Foster Langsdorff retired. Okay. Oh, well, you look at that. Oh, that's a future thing. Thomas Chacon is coming back at the end of the year. Remember when he was a person?
Is he still a designated player for them?
I think he is, yeah. How bad is that? Really, they haven't brought anybody in.
Yeah, and they only lost stuff.
They only lost stuff. So once again, Minnesota fans, the hell? What's your team doing? Oh, just kidding. One day ago, they signed Joseph Rosales.
Who's that?
He is a midfielder from CA Independiente de la Cochera of the Liga Panameña de Football top division in Panama. They saw him during Olympic qualifiers, held his own against Asani Dotson, which means he has to be world class. He's Honduran. And he is on an 18-month loan. He's 20 years old, which really helps them because they're trying to get rid of a striker. And Hunu is their other guy up top, right?
Yeah.
So, oh, and Juan Agudelo. Don't forget Juan Agudelo.
Oh, well, A+ window for that.
Oh, they put Chacon under a U22 initiative. They got away with that one. Yeah, so they've got Hunu as a midfielder designated player. He's not even a striker. Langsdorff just retired. McMaster, who is in a supplemental slot. And Patrick Weah. Patrick Weah time. And then they're trying to get rid of Abela. So of the forwards they have, they've got. Oh, and they signed Fragapane.
Oh yeah.
That. So.
Yeah, that one happened. Was that technically
before the season started, or like right in the middle, like right after we posted it?
Yeah. That's been a good signing so far. I know. I think he's hurt right now, but
yeah. So, is this just? Oh, so if I do, what is this? Would technically be a summer transfer or a winter transfer? Let's figure that out. Yeah, it'd be summer transfers. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut that down even more. Yeah, there we go. That's better. So the only thing that they did was lose Langsdorff and Opara and try to get rid of Avila. And I guess now technically they brought in Joseph Rosales. So D, like
C-.
Big D. It's just I don't get it, right? So these guys are like fighting the playoff line, you know, doing all right, and then you got teams like Seattle who go out and sign Leo Chu, a left winger from Grêmio, who is like top of the Brazilian league. It's like, where is your drive to be good? Like, this is the stuff I expect out of Red Bull, not out of my Western Conference Minnesota Lumens. But Seattle obviously go out. That's their big signing. They also picked up Nicolas Benezet from Colorado for about $50,000. So that's a pretty good signing there. And then the only thing that they lost really was they sent Ocampo Chavez on loan to an Austrian team. 19-year-old striker. He was getting game time actually, but that'll give him some more even level playing field, I think. But I like the move for Leo Chu. It allows them to play a little bit wider. Remember, I know we were talking about it earlier this season, where they had to change formation because losing Jordan Morris was going to be difficult for them to adapt to. So this gives them a little bit of width and changes their shape a little bit. I like that.
Yeah. Now, if you want to play with wider players, you can go with Roldan on the right. You can go Leo Chu on the left. You can go Rui Diaz at top. You keep Ladero in the middle if he comes back to play at all. And that, like if you spread wider, it gives Ladero a little bit more space to work with.
Exactly.
But yeah. I mean, they obviously didn't lose anything. They're second place in the West, and they only got better. So hard to say anything other than a good window for Seattle.
Yep. I can't really. It looks like he is contracted to them for the next 3 years, which is good. You keep him under wraps for a little bit. I don't know much about him outside of the fact that he played for a really good club in Brazil. Now, we all know that doesn't mean anything. Our Fabio came from the second division. Doesn't mean that he was bad. I'll give it a B+.
Yeah, I was going to say B for me.
Yeah. Okay. Summer transfers will go all the way down. Boop, boop, boop. Portland Timbers. This is a big one I wanted to talk about. I like this. We can talk about that they signed a center mid from Israel or a right winger from Colombia, but the big one, Jeremy Abobasi, traded to San Jose for $1.17 million in Garber bucks. That's massive.
It's a lot of Garber bucks.
That's more than Julian Gressel went for. That's more than Darlington Nagbe went for.
More than Mark Anthony K.
More than Mark Anthony K went for. San Jose are like, we need a Wando replacement. We need it quick. And we talked about it last year or right before the season started. They were going on Andre Rios and 40 million year old Chris Wondolowski. This is
listen, Chris Wondolowski is timeless.
Yeah, so is the third W in his name and the missing from 6 yards out, but we'll never forget him for either of those.
Does Wondolowski have more W's or does Greg have more G's? This is the important questions.
I would need to watch a lot of Wondolowski game film to figure that out. But this is a massive signing for San Jose, and really it's not a huge departure for Portland. Jebba was getting like a game every 7 games. He wasn't like an out and out starter. So to be able to take really the third guy on your depth chart and flip him for almost $1.25 million is massive business. Really, really well done. Love that. Really, really love that.
Yeah, I think this is a good move for everybody involved. A part of me feels like it is a slight overpay by San Jose, but
100%.
It's a position that they need. So I think it's a worthwhile overpay.
Sure.
But I don't want to get too much into San Jose because we didn't really technically get to them. We're still on Portland. Do you have any thoughts on the guys that they brought in? I mean, I don't really know much about them, to be honest.
No.
They sent out the right back that they just signed, Van Rankin.
They sent him out on leave.
I just botched his name, but yeah, he's out. He's with Chivas for the rest of the season.
They sent him back? Because I'm pretty sure he was on loan. I'm pretty sure they got him on loan. I don't see him here. Hold on.
I have it on the transfer market one.
I'm looking at it on transfer market too, but I kept it to summer only.
Wait, so did they buy him and then just loan him back out?
No, I think they got him on loan. Hold on.
So he's under the out column, and it says end of loan December 31st, 2021.
Yes, so his loan will end in December and he will go back. Right, because December 3rd,
T1st. So it's
hasn't happened yet.
It's saying that at the end of the season he's going back.
Yes, remember, because December 31st, 2021 hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, so, I thought that was saying that he was sent out to Chivas and his loan with Chivas was ending December 30th.
Gotcha. No,
yeah, you're right.
So
he's with Portland.
His loan he's here on loan. I think there's an option to buy. But
Got
yeah,
it.
cool. Okay, so this window, by the way, just for some numbers here, Portland, B-, because I like the sale that you made. I think you got a lot for a little, so good job.
I think B or B plus.
Nice. Just for some numbers here, MLS teams sold players for a combined $21,921,994 this summer, and brought in players at a total of $50,433,992 on arrivals. So overall, they have lost $28.5 million, which is really cool.
Hey, they're spending money.
Yeah, they are.
Good
But
to
isn't
see.
it supposed to be a selling league?
We're reinvesting the money that we've already profited on.
So really good there. Again, put Chive, a center mid, that's just in depth. Right wing, Santiago Moreno is probably a future. He's valued at 1.7 million on transfer market in this market value. So what he paid, we aren't sure. But
Yeah, I mean, you would think he's probably behind Blanco and Imichara. I mean, I think, is Blanco still hurt? I don't really know. I feel like he is. Regardless, it's not really important, but I think if assuming everybody's healthy, I think he's probably behind both of them.
so Portland sent $50,000 to Philadelphia for discovery rights. Yeah, it looks like it was between Atlanta and Portland, and he picked Portland. Shocker
For who? Moreno?
for Moreno. Yep. So Moreno to an attacking winger lineup that featured Yemi Chara, Dairon Asprilla, Marvin Loria, with Blanco still working his way back to full fitness, have to rely on more direct wing play. So there you go. There you have it. So that's a good pickup there, especially beating out Atlanta with the big names and lots of money. That's a good signing there. Sporting KC. I've got two things here. I've got Tyler Freeman, a 18-year-old left wing on loan to a German second division side. This is a guy that they signed out of their academy last at the beginning of the season. So get him some game time, and they brought in Jose Mauri from Talleres, an Italian and Argentinian center mid on a free transfer. I guess this is the Gianluca Busio replacement, because what's not listed here, because I think he became official before this updated, is obviously Gianluca Busio out for $11 million to Venezia, right? Venezia, is that how I pronounce it?
Something like that.
Yeah. So obviously that is their outgoing. MLS takes 25% of that, and then they get to play with whatever they want after that. But that's got to be his like for like replacement. 25 years old. Good that they got one in instead of just sat on their hands, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at the player's market value, it has plummeted. So I got to imagine this guy's kind of trying to use MLS as a rebound, which I feel like is not usually a great sign for a club bringing in a
It is or
player.
it isn't. It is or it isn't, right? Because you can look at somebody and be like, oh man, he's just trying to jump ship. But at the same time, if he puts in the effort to make himself better, then he makes the league better, right?
We will have to wait and see. But regardless, it seems like they really didn't change up their team much, obviously, besides Busio. But the sale of Busio was a big one for me. So I'd give it like maybe a B minus, B,
Yeah,
because I think their sale was a really good sale.
Yeah.
But the team itself didn't really change.
Sure. And they didn't really need to, right? Top of the West for the fourth year in a row. I think they're okay. Moving on to San Jose now, and we're just going in a list of whatever transfer market has listed. So There's no rhyme or reason to why we're on any different team. Because it's not alphabetical. But San Jose, obviously the Jabo get is a really good one. They also signed a center back from Zurich named Nathan, which will help secure that god-awful back line that, if I look quickly, has given up the second most goals behind LA, Portland, and Vancouver, who all have 27. They have given up 26. And Daniel Vega isn't even playing, so I don't really have excuses anymore. Nathan will help shore that up. And I think they even got an addition by subtraction here by getting Florian Youngworth over to Vancouver. Vancouver went and signed and sent $200,000 worth of Garber bucks over to San Jose for his signature, which is, it's kind of, I have the same feeling about when Kike Struna went to Montreal. I don't like him. I don't think he's a good defender. I think he is a madman who will run and give you everything he's got, but as just a pure defender, and granted, he may have been in the wrong scheme, right? If Matthias Almeida went in and was like, hey, we're not going to man mark every single player, then sure, whatever. And he probably would have been fine. But he was just running around chasing Jordan Morris all day, getting exposed for it. So I like this. I like the window by San Jose. I think they've gotten overall better. And Cade Cowell's probably on his way out too. So
Yeah, good window for them. I'd say B.
Yeah, I'll give him B plus. I like because I don't like Youngworth, and getting him out is a good thing. Houston. I like this one from Houston. I liked Houston's first one, like when we did this a couple of months ago, and I like it now. Christian Ramirez off the books to Aberdeen. I mean, it says 250,000. I'm not quite sure what that is, but and he's already killing it over in Scotland, so good on him. And then the players they brought in, the two big ones, they got Griffin Dorsey, who I believe was with DC United before this. I might be wrong.
No, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds right, doesn't it? They also brought in.
Oh no, he was with Toronto.
Toronto, yes, that's right. That's right. He was with Toronto. Carrasquilla, a Panamanian center mid from a Spanish league, Spanish second division, also on loan. But the big ones, they bring Corey Baird in for 750,000 Garber bucks. I like it, especially with Ramirez going. They need a true goal scorer up there. And designated player Teenage Hadebe, center back out of Yeni Malatyaspor in Turkey. This just strengthens their back line a little bit. Tim Parker, we talked about when they got rid of Kike Struna, it was really Tim Parker and who, right? Maynor Figueroa was there. This is a really good signing to help solidify that. Currently, they sit in 11th with 23 goals conceded. They needed that goal score and they needed to tighten things up a little bit. They got both of them. I like it.
Yep. I was literally just about to say the same thing. Like they're not really on either extreme in terms of like lacking goal scoring and lacking defense, but they could have used some improvement in both areas, and I think they did that. I think I'm very curious to see, because Corey Barrett's had a pretty solid season so far. I think this will be a good indication as to whether or not his season has been the LAFC effect, or if he's actually starting to kind of break out a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be curious to see that, because they've been solid attacking wise. I know they have like a lot of rotating guys up there. He's not really their star man.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think Corey Barrett is their star guy either. They'll kind of just fall right into that mix of guys who can get the job done up top.
Sure, definitely. Yeah. Like I said, I think getting Christian Ramirez out too was good. He's going, Connor, what's that? Which side of 30 is he on?
He's on 30, so.
He's on 30, but he's going to be on the wrong side of 30. So get him out, get him over to Europe where he's been wanting to play. He gets to play and get a younger Corey Barrett in who can probably do the job.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. FC Dallas. Apologies, my puppy's getting angry.
She doesn't. She's telling you it's a fake team. She wants you to just skip it. You're on mute.
Come here. Stop with the barking. Puppy parenting and podcasting. It's a real hard job. Okay, so FC Dallas or FC Texas United State FC. Obviously, the big ones. Brian Reynolds, I think, became official this summer. So to Roma for $7.43 million. Tanner Tessman out to join Gianluca Busso at Venezia, $4 million. Thomas Robert, I don't think he's made an appearance. If not, he's made one or two. He's loaned out to Austria. And Eddie Munjoma is actually loaned out to North Texas SC, which is a real team. The other big one that they got in, they brought Justin Shea back. That's awesome. The thing that's not awesome, 9th place. They were bottom of the league for the first 15 or so games. And then they're like, oh, wait, we can actually play our kids. We don't need to just sell them. And then they started playing Pepe and Shea and just whoosh right at the table. Imagine that.
Yeah, I mean, this team it's not a team that's going to tear up the league and, I mean, probably not win MLS Cup, but it's a team that, it knows what they are and they know how to do it well. They're an academy, essentially. They bring in young guys. Sometimes they play them, sometimes they don't, and then they sell them off to Europe. Ricardo Pepi will be the next, I'm sure, in line if those talks aren't even currently happening at the moment. You got to figure Paxton's probably going to get his move eventually, Ferreira, and then the next guys will just come right in through on the factory line that is FC Dallas. So, I think if for an FC Dallas window, they did a good job. What did they did what they do best. They take their young guys and they sold them off. They sold them for good money. How many games did Tanner Tessman play? And he got a $4 million signing. Sam Vines has been like a starter, I feel like, for seasons, and he got $2 million for him. Double the price for a guy that played probably 5 games.
Brian Reynolds is the same way. They brought him in from the academy, sold him for nearly $7.5 million. This is Don Garber. This is Don Garber's favorite team. If every team in MLS could beat FC Dallas, he would do it. Yes. Now, to me, I don't believe they're a real team. Half of these players, never heard of them ever. But he loves them because this is what he wants. He wants a bunch of kids to come up, play nothing, get sold, make buku money, put it right back into Garber bucks. Life's good. Then there are these guys who are so selfish. They're like, no, we want to win something. It's like, how could you mess up the system? How dare you? Garber not happy. But no, this is what he wants the future of this league to be. And to a lesser extent, I agree. FC Dallas have thrown away all ability to compete for anything. As soon as Pepe's gone and Shea's gone, they've got nothing again.
You just restart. You just restart. You start getting get the next crew in.
Eventually, you're gonna run out of players. You have to. You have to. But right. So they've given up, and this is kind of where Red Bull are headed to. They've given up their desire to compete for anything in returns for high record transfer fees for players who don't play much. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. There's no relegation. You're gonna stay there. Even if you won Supporter Shield, MLS Cup, and Open Cup, all of that, I believe, if I check my numbers correctly. Chris May, stop it. Come here. Dad. No, you stay here with me. Even if you combine all of those numbers, I think you maybe get $1.5 million worth of prize money if you win a treble. $1.5 million or $1.5 million. You could sell one player and make 4 times that amount. And Dallas has done that multiple times already. So there's no reason to try. Now, once that changes, they start putting more, emphasis on winning things, then you start bringing players in. It's like 20 years down the road, but that's where it is.
What I will say, I do think Dallas has made an attempt. I just think that they're bad at it, to be honest with you. They try to sign guys from Europe to kind of balance out some of the young guys. Look at Franco Jara. Look at oh God, who else have they signed? Brian Acosta. They've just never panned out. They're very good at developing guys in their system. They're very bad at signing players from outside of MLS.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's not like you said, they're not going to make money doing well in the league. They don't have a super big fan base, so they're not making money from their games. Where are they making money? Doing exactly what they're doing now. So might as well keep doing it.
Yep, I hear you. So we'll move on to our first Eastern Conference team, and there's actually not much to talk about with them. They are New England Revolution. They have brought 0 people in, and they have like 900 people rumored to be leaving. The only person they've actually gotten rid of, though, is Jacob Montes to Crystal Palace, which is actually a pretty good movement for, again, a guy who I don't believe actually played. He was a Timbers Academy member. He played at Georgetown, was All-American and Big East Midfielder of the Year. And yeah, apparently the New England Revolution acquired his rights. And when he decided to turn them down and go to Crystal Palace, they got something for him. That's all they've done. But we should talk about what might happen soon. Tajon Buchanan to Club Brugge, rumored. DeJuan Jones to Bundesliga, rumored. Those are the 2 big ones I've seen so far. Do you have anything else that I missed?
I don't think I have anything else rumors wise. I mean, you got to figure maybe Matt Turner is going to leave soon. I mean, the guy certainly is good enough to be playing in Europe right now.
For sure.
But like the big thing for me, I mean, even Brandon Bai might get a move soon too. But I think as long as you keep guys like Bo and you keep guys like Heel, keep your core, you can rotate the guys around you. I mean, you have a coach that is arguably the best coach in MLS history and will get the best out of whoever is around those guys. I think, and I don't think there's as much of a threat with losing guys like Bo and Heel because they're not these young players who are like using MLS teams as a stepping stone to get to Europe. Like Bo's 31, Heel is probably close to 30 at least. I'm not exactly sure, but so I don't think they're in super danger. Are they in danger of losing the top spot in the East? Sure. I think they could. I think they'd still be a playoff team at the least though. So I don't think it's the end of the world for them. And I think they should profit off of the guys while they are performing well right now.
Mm-hmm. Carlos Heel's 28.
Okay. Yeah. So
he could still make a jump if he wanted to, but a team to keep an eye on for sure, New England. Right. Matt Turner, DeJuan Jones, and Tajon Buchanan are going to be out the door relatively soon. So Bruce Arena is going to have some work to do.
Yep.
Real Salt Lake, another quiet one. They have brought in Tony Datkovic from Greece and lost nobody. Thoughts?
It's possible to have thoughts on it. It was literally nothing has changed really. Maybe a depth signing. I don't know if he's going to start, but regardless, it's not really I don't think it's going to change too much for them.
Yeah, usually if you look up a team name on Google, they'll give you like some sort of transfer buzz. It is absolutely barren. So I can't imagine they're bringing anybody in. If you want to talk about a C, that's bang average a C. New England Revolution, also a C, haven't done anything. FC Dallas,
I give him a B minus.
A minus for making money. All right. Vancouver Whitecaps. This is a fun one. Immediate A+ for signing Brian White. We'll talk about who they lost first. So they loaned center back Derek Cornelius to Greece. They loaned Theo Baer to HamKam in Norway.
What a name.
Yep, I saw that. I was so happy when I saw that. Ali Adnan, they just kind of slashed his contract and see you later. And they also loaned Damiano Pesile to Venezia. I believe Venezia is just going to be MLS, and we're going to be able to look at them and say, wherever they finish, MLS is that good. that is the comparison we've been waiting for.
They're buying MLS youth team though. They're not even buying like our best players. Do you know who the coach is for their team?
No, but I got to figure it out.
It is Zanetti.
No, for real?
It is Paolo Zanetti.
That's so cool. We talked about Fiore and Youngworth coming over here. That'll strengthen that back line just a little bit, especially after losing Cornelius. And the big ones, Ryan Gauld coming out of, he is a Scottish striker coming from Portugal. Or an attacking mid. I have a feeling they'll be using him a little bit higher up the field, but short little guy who can create a lot of chances. And then Pedro Vitae, a center mid, a 19-year-old center mid from Independiente in Ecuador. And they paid 2.5 mil for him. So the Pedro Vitae, I feel like, is going to be, he'll play this year, but he's more of a, let's develop him and sell him for multi-million dollars next year. Ryan Gauld is here to create for this team. Because that's really what they've been missing, right? They really have never, for a long time, Vancouver have not had a number 10 that can do something. So this is the first time, I think, outside of, I think they had Imbaum, who was kind of like their creator, but he was more of an 8. So it'll be good to see him play.
Yeah, I'm all on board for this signing of Ryan Gauld. I think that's fantastic for them. I mean, watching him play with Dejome and with Daibar Casado, I mean, like their attack should be very interesting, and you got to figure when throw in Lucas Cavallini as well. I just wonder what they're going to do defensively. Like, I really don't think Florian Youngworth is the answer. And I still think that they need help there. So I think the way that they're trending almost reminds me of San Jose last year, where they're just going to try to score 50 goals a game, but
7-6 every game, right?
Yeah. They'll try to score like 50 goals a game and concede like 100.
Yeah.
But at least it'll be exciting.
Yeah, no, for sure. It'll be a fun time to watch. I will give them C- because they lost more than they brought in. I'll give them a C+ because I like the Gauld and I like the Vitae signing. C+.
I'll give them a B-.
Okay, we're gonna go quickly because we've been going for an hour and a half, and we have 16 teams left. So,
oh my god, we could cut it and make it a part 2.
That's kind of weird. It's not like we did half and then half. It's like we did.
All right.
So, we'll finish the third. All right. Club de Football Montreal lost Eric Hurtado to the Columbus Crew for $200,000. Amar Sejdic to Atlanta for $100,000, and then Louis Binks will be going back to Bologna, or he's gone back to Bologna. He went back at the end of June. So they've lost Louis Binks. They've brought in Robert Ori Thorkelson from Norway for a fee unknown. That is the center back replacement for Louis Binks, it seems. I feel like it's a massive drop off. And
yeah, they did nothing.
Didn't do anything.
They did nothing this window. Just to sum it up, which they're sitting in 8th right now. I feel like they needed a little something to try to give them that boost into the playoffs, because Columbus is too talented to stay around 7th. So you got to figure they're gonna
Well, they got rid of Hurtado because he refused the COVID vaccination, right?
Uh,
Yeah, so they were just like, yeah, see ya.
well, I gave it a
Um,
C minus because they didn't do anything, and I felt that they should have.
yes, I agree with you. I will give you that. And there's no rumors coming in of anything recent. Toronto FC lose Erickson Gallardo and Rocco Romeo on loan to Canadian sides. Rocco Romeo will come or came back. They didn't do anything either. Jordan Perusa.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we want to throw Soteldo in there because we didn't get to talk about him the first time?
We can throw Soteldo in there. Really the biggest loss that they had, and it might even be an addition, is the loss of Chris Armas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing really. No rumors. Not that I can see.
Yeah. So I would say, based on them losing nothing, gaining Soteldo, I think they still should have done a bit more considering they're sitting at 13th right now, unless you want to just call it a wraps on the season and try again next year. But your back line's not getting any younger, really. So, I'd say it's maybe a C minus, just because obviously I like the signing of Soteldo. I think he's going to be a really good player in this league, but the team sucks right now.
Yeah, they're really bad.
And they need help, and they brought in nothing. I mean, maybe they are. I don't think it's the time to like completely like overhaul the entire team in the middle of the season. So I get it. They're probably just trying to put some bandages on it for now and then fix it up at the end of the season. But regardless, I mean, I'll just say C. I'll say C just for the Soteldo signing.
Yeah, I'll give them that too. Their whole season was screwed up as soon as Chris Armas walked through the door.
Yeah.
So a little bit tough to judge there, but again, they can just try again next season, right? There's no push for it. But yeah, really not much on the rumor front. Really, as soon as you can't, I don't think you can do much looking at it until you really assess them from a non-Armas ball point of view, because they're two different teams.
Yeah.
So that's just we'll have to revisit that. So we'll leave it at a C for now. Nashville SC. Jack Mayer comes back from loan and slides into the starting 11 to fill in for Walker Zimmerman. Imagine filling those shoes. And Ake Loba from Monterey for $6.8 million. Dominic Badji goes out the door to make way for him, and then they loan Thomas Judge to Pittsburgh to make room. I like it. I think Ake Loba's a good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I wonder if this is this supposed to be like a motivation for Yonder Cadiz? Is this a competition for Yonder Cadiz? Is this I'm a play him with Yonder Cadiz?
I think it's a mix of a lot of different things. It gives them the option to play with two strikers if they need to, because Yonder Cadiz is a massive human being who does not move very fast. So this gives them another option there. It also allows them to replace him if the tactics don't line up in the middle of a game, or if they're looking at a game and go, okay, we're playing against Toronto with Omar Gonzalez in the back, and he's going to win every header over Yonder, but he won't be able to keep up without Ake Loba. We'll put him in there, right? So just different abilities, right? Different abilities. I like it. I think it's a good improvement, and I think it's a good step for a Nashville team that had a lot of struggles scoring last year. So I will give them B minus.
I'll say B.
Good man. Atlanta United. So we'll talk about who they got, and then we'll just I would say we'd make a quick list of all the players they tried to get, but it would take us 4 hours. So they lost Fernando Meza on a free.
Yeah, that was supposed to be their LGP replacement.
Yes, absolutely awful business.
Terribly, yeah.
Awful business. Amar Sejic from Montreal, we talked about for $100,000. I don't know, what is that for?
He's playing like every game. Yeah.
Man, who is coaching now? I know they let go of Gabby Hines. So who's there now?
Who is the interim right now?
Some fill-in dude.
It is Rob Valentino.
Nice.
They're rumored with the Seattle assistant, which
Yes.
I'm big time on board for that. I would be a big fan of that, especially over going to get some manager that didn't pan out in Europe. So,
Yeah.
but regardless,
So
go ahead.
they also got Luis Arujo from Lille for $12 million. These guys are awful at throwing money at people at the last minute for no reason. But they also did sign Thiago Almada, but he will not join this window. He'll join in January.
Was that confirmed that they signed him? I thought they were going to try again in December.
It says he will not join. This is Dirty South Soccer. This is the Atlanta page. Yeah. They had a bid accepted by Velez, but could not persuade the player to sign a contract.
I heard there were visa issues.
There might be visa issues too. So I believe that there is a deal in principle, and they will just get it over the line in January.
So do you want to include that one in here now, or do you want to
talk about it? I'll include that in here. Yeah, I'll include that in here. Who else were they linked to?
I think there was Orta from Braga.
Orta from Braga.
Oh, man, someone. What was his name? Someone from Syria, from like Cagliari.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name. I don't want to say João Pedro, but I think it was something.
I think it was João Pedro. That's right.
Might be.
Yeah. So those are two of them that fell way short when they both said absolutely not. Santiago Moreno, we talked about already. And yeah, I think that's probably the big names. There were probably a few other smaller ones that all said, "Nah, I'm good." But yeah, so those are the big ones there. I think they're doing okay to bring players in, but there's no manager there to say yes or no. This could turn into another Barco situation very, very quickly.
Yeah, I think for me too, I would have rather everybody they were linked with and everybody that they brought in, all attacking players. I would have preferred to see some midfield players because I feel like that's our weakest part of the field. We really are like lacking some midfield players, and I would have preferred. I would have preferred to have spent some money there, but I'm very happy with the guys that they brought in, regardless of like if it's a position we need or not. Luis Araujo was a starter on the team that won Liga MX. You're talking about the top team in France, beat PSG, beat Monaco, beat Lyon, and this guy was a starter in their team, and now he's playing in MLS. So
it's a good get. It's definitely a good get,
especially if it was a last minute one. I think I'm very curious to see how he translates over here. I'm kind of surprised he would move from France to here. I mean,
money talks.
Yeah, I was going to say probably money. And then Almada, very Barco-esque. It reminds me a lot of that signing where it has me worried.
There's a lot of pressure on his shoulders.
The potential's through the roof. I mean, we know the guy has like so much potential, but same thing with Barco, and that has not exactly panned out so well. So I'm gonna hold my breath on that one.
I hear you. I'll give them a B. I like that they're moving in the right direction, but you're right. They needed midfield. Really, they needed backline help too, I think. But
yeah,
it's all about the attacking players in Atlanta.
Yeah, I'd say like B or B minus for me. Yeah, I like the signings, but I wish they were in different areas.
Yep. Okay, Inter Miami.
Quick pause.
Inter Miami CF.
I think they're missing a transfer on here.
For who?
Messi on a senior minimum salary. Messi to Inter Miami on a senior minimum salary.
Messi's a homegrown player. You didn't know? He doesn't count towards the salary cap. All of it's awful. I'm giving them an F. It's just all so bad. Matthias Pellegrini loaned to Estudiantes with an option to buy. That's probably like $1 because they can't bring him back anyway. Josh Penn on loan to Charleston. I mean, he's a good signing for them in the beginning at the draft, but Indiana Vasiljev on loan from Aston Villa. Yeah, I mean, that's Lewis Morgan's spot, so cool. Free transfer for Ventura Alvarado, who played so poorly with the U.S. men's national team in 2016. He hasn't seen the light of day since. Nick Marsman, emergency goalkeeper replacement because John McCarthy's awful, and he is also not that good. And then Gibbsy on a free transfer to play left back and get torched 7 times a game.
Yeah, I mean, they just keep trying to, like, Miami must just be stuck like 10 years behind because they still think
David Beckham's still in 2011, bro.
He still thinks this is a retirement league. I don't understand. Like, why do you keep bringing in these old defenders? I mean, the way the league is swinging too is it's just constantly like young South American wingers that are coming in. Like, they're going to torch Shawcross and Gibbs all game long.
All he needed to do was go down to a local pitch in Miami, watch a Sunday league game where they invite high schoolers and 40-year-olds, and just watch what happens. That's all you got to do. It's not that hard. Inter Miami get an F. They're awful. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, they suck.
They're terrible. Yes. Okay. Orlando City. 2 players out on loan. One goes to Real Oviedo. One goes to Hartford. Ayas, a center forward Brazilian, goes to Oviedo. That could turn into something. The big one coming in, Emmanuel Mas, the left back from Boca Juniors, comes over on a free transfer. That is a replacement for the Mexican defender they signed at the beginning of the year, who then had his contract terminated because of domestic violence. I don't remember his name, but his name probably doesn't carry enough weight to matter anyway, not after something like that. So that is that replacement, finally sharing that spot up. And they also had is Giammattino over there now? Who's the left back that plays there now?
I think he was the left back, unless something changed.
Yeah. So that's good experience to add on the back line. Again, Orlando City don't need to do much, right? Sitting second there, so far behind New England. It's scary, but we can move on. Orlando City, C+. Didn't really do much.
I'm gonna give them a D+.
Excuse me?
Strictly for the Chris Mueller transfer.
Okay, fine. It's not on there because it hasn't happened yet, but yeah, I'll give that to you.
How do you let him walk for free? That's just awful. That's terrible.
That is pretty bad. I will give you that.
But we kind of talked about that already. So
well, that's why I'm not going to touch on it too long. We can touch on it again when they botch the DK transfer.
Exactly.
Moving on to the Columbus Crew. Columbus Crew only brought in 2 players, Eric Hurtado and Miguel Berry on loan. Didn't lose anybody. We talked about how good their team was to begin with. A few injuries have hurt them here or there. They really just got to get playing again. I think people have figured them out, so they got to find something new.
Yep, they did nothing. So C.
Yeah, I'll give them a C. Not much. You know, they brought in two center forwards to help them score goals, but we'll see how that goes. Dumpster Fire FC.
That's that name does not deserve to be on FCC anymore.
You're right. It really
completely
does.
taken over by Inter Miami.
Yeah, Inter Miami have taken that. 4 points away from RBNY FCC.
Yeah, welcome to the league, FCC. Congratulations on not being Dumpster Fire anymore.
You joined. They let Jurgen Licati go back to Brighton at the end of his loan, and they canceled the Kovacevic loan, sent him back to Hoffenheim. So 2 really bad flops there that should have turned into something really good. My favorite signing for them is Tyler Blackett from Nottingham Forest. A defender is always good for them.
Certainly.
But I think because he can play on the left or he can play in the center. He's done both. So I am excited to see where he slides in, because they also, I believe, let Thomas Peterson go, from what I remember reading. I believe Peterson's gone as well.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. Yeah, I'd say C+, B-. Didn't change a ton, but improved slightly. Probably.
They also lost their GM.
I'm going to say C+ for them, because I think they should have done a little bit more, but they improved a little bit.
Also not on there, Florian Velo, added via trade.
That's true.
That's a good one there.
I mean,
that doesn't move the that doesn't win anything anymore. But yeah, so that's the two in there. I'll give them C+ too. So Velo and Blackett are two big ones. Lakadia and Kovacevic, not so good. I'm going to give them actually a C- because your Jaap Stam feels like Yuya Kubo, who has played right wing, center attacking mid, and striker his entire career, should be a defensive midfielder now. I watched him play against Red Bull, and he literally played as a defensive midfielder.
Jaap Stam is Benny Ball in disguise.
I love it. Hook it to
Benny Ball never dies. It just gets passed on to someone new.
It just changes form, right?
Yeah, some coach in the league has to carry on Benny Ball.
Yep. DC United, we are going to skip over because they have done literally nothing. Nobody in, nobody out.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a C- for that one. I feel like they should have brought someone in. You're like on the border of the playoffs right now. I think you should.
And your goalkeeper just got hurt, so
yeah, do something to just help solidify it a little bit more. But regardless,
nothing to talk about there.
C. I don't know, whatever.
Chicago Fire playing football. Frankowski, after doing literally nothing for 3 years, gets a $2.5 million move to RC Lens.
Also more money than Sam Bynes.
Also more money than Sam Bynes, yep. And they spent $5 million to get a defensive midfielder, Federico Navarro, from Talleres in Argentina.
I don't know why, but when I look at his picture on Transfer Market, it reminds me of Miguel Almiron.
Navarro, or?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's a spitting image.
It's kind of creepy.
That's terrifying. What I'm going to do
that's just listening to this, I implore you to go look on Transfer Market and look him up and tell me he does not look like Miguel Almiron.
Please, that is terrifyingly similar. Big ups to them. They started a 17-year-old goalkeeper against FCC yesterday or Wednesday.
Does that take a lot of guts to do?
In their position, not really. No, they can get away with whatever they want.
They can start Chris Armas in goal and they'd be fine.
They could. What this is probably going to do for them is allow Aliseda to play either as more of a striker or a winger, and let Madron go be more creative. We talked about somebody coming in and being that person for them. This is actually going to let them do that because he is a true defensive midfielder. He's very much like Atlanta's signing Sosa.
Yeah.
Yep, to do the same thing. So hopefully that happens for them.
Yeah, I think that's I would love to see Madron get more creative. So, I'm fully on board with that.
Which is what they brought him in for. They just didn't bring enough players to help him do that.
Yeah.
B- because they got a steal for Frankowski.
I'm going to say B+.
Oh,
because I agree. They sold Frankowski for way more money than they deserve to sell him for.
Absolutely. But that's what happens when you score a goal. FC Dallas.
I really like the signing of Navarro. I think that'll be really great for them. It's not only is like it going to help with just him being in there, but I think it's going to help improve the guys around him as well.
Yep. Philadelphia Union. Matej Oravec, the DM that they signed the year after they won the Supporters Shield, is loaned out to a Slovakian team. Not going to try and pronounce that name. They have brought in Mateus Davo, a 21-year-old striker from Corinthians, which should help with some of their goal-scoring issues. They currently sit third, but a little bit of ways away from New England. So that'll just give them another focus there. And then Jesus Bueno, a DM from Venezuela, excuse me. And that will basically allow them to have a replacement when Jose Martinez gets his red card every fourth game.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Yep. I'll give them obviously Orovich wasn't the replacement they needed. So C+.
I'm gonna say C.
Gotcha. Austin FC did not let anybody go, being that they just started playing like last year. Oren Gaines from Hanover on a free, an American who was on their second team. Musa Dijete, a $1.6 million signing from Grenoble in France. That is the second division France, a striker, because we all know they need to score goals, so that's going to be good for them. And then the big one, a $7 million designated player transfer for Sebastian Druisi from Zenit St. Petersburg in Russia. This is the big one everybody was talking about because obviously Thomas Pochettino on the left wing, or Siciliano. Is Dominguez even playing anymore? I don't think I've heard his name in months.
Yeah, he's definitely still playing.
Well,
I feel like he is.
We don't actually know. He might be.
He might be playing with Dallas for all we know.
Yeah, probably. So they needed to add something because whoever they brought in to start that whole process didn't help, even though they did beat Houston last week. And Pochettino scored twice and Dominguez scored once. So there you go. What do I know? So yes, he's playing, but he's playing more as a winger. Right now, they lined up last game in a 4-4-1-1 with John Gallagher up top. So you can go ahead and put Dijete up top and play properly. And then you could probably turn it into a you probably turn it to 4-2-3-1, or even put Pochettino up top and turn it into a 4-3-1-2. Let Dominguez play, or a 4-3-3. Let Dominguez go higher and drop Fagundes for Druisi. Big name signing, addressing all their issues. B.
Yeah, I actually really like it. I think they had they're big. They scored 13 goals all season. That is like the lowest in the league, I think.
By far, like it's not even close.
Oh no, they're tied with Inter Miami.
All right, so that's your benchmark.
They're lowest in the real league. Inter Miami's in a league of their own. Yeah, I mean they're lowest by like a long shot compared to the actual teams in the league. And I think that they brought in two guys who can help to address the issue. So I'm going to say B+.
Agreed.
Good stuff from them.
Good job, Austin. High five. NYCFC, bring in nobody, let go of Sebastian Ibeaga for $150,000 to LAFC. C-. Yep, that's, as I said, they probably they got a bear back. They've got Castellanos, Tajuri Stroudy is scoring. They are doing a lot better than I thought they would. They really didn't need to do much else. They just had to play the game.
Yep.
Okay. Red Bull New York, aka Future. Nah, we're not winning anything out live. Obviously, Caden Clark sold and loaned back to Leipzig for a whopping $2 million, which we all know is a very true number that Red Bull are not lying about at all, because they're not just. I need Adam here to talk about the Red Bull transfer.
This is where you insert the Red Bull meme.
The Red Bull, I love the Red Bull. I send the Red Bull consistently to lots of my friends whenever something good happens with Red Bull. David Jensen also out on a loan to Westerlo in Belgium. He probably won't come back. I don't think he's in Struber's plans much. The big one, obviously, big signing that just happened a few days ago. Matthias Jorgensen is back on loan from loan, which means we are scoring 9 goals a game.
Watch out, league.
Watch out, world. No, they did sign a center back replacement, Lucas Monzon from Uruguay, Danubio FC. It's an 18-month loan with an option to buy. So if he impresses, he can stay. If he doesn't, we'll kick him out the door. It's a good business deal. He's got big shoes to fill because we are on to our 5th and 6th string center backs right now, and we are grasping for issues. So, C+.
Yeah, I'm like C or C+, something like that. Nothing really changed too much, to be honest.
It's really about how he's going to use them, right? Because we signed a ton of people last window,
Yeah.
and they all either got hurt or are not playing because they're awful. So it's all about the system. We signed a kid from Celtic who was like known to be a really promising American winger.
Harper, right?
Yeah, Cameron Harper, and we don't use wingers. So like we literally, there was a game where we put him on and took him directly off the field. And Struber was like, yeah, he just wasn't ready for that. We're like, no, you put him in the wrong spot. So he's learning quickly.
He doesn't fit the system.
He doesn't fit the system. Amen. 2 more teams. So we will finish this up quickly because we've been going way too long.
I'm excited for this one. The big name is back.
LAFC. Oh my God, LAFC.
He's back.
He's back. I didn't, you know, this tells you about how low they rate this guy, that I didn't know this happened.
I didn't know either. I only saw it on the thing.
I kept reading about when he was coming back, but I never knew when it actually was. So this is the first.
I'm sure they were counting down the days till they could ship him back.
Well, I already said he's not going back there. They'll find somebody else taken. Obviously, Mark Anthony Kane, Corey Baird out for a combined $1.75 million. They've brought in Ibiaga to fill in a center back role. Christian Arengo, a striker from Millonarios, $2.5 million. They got a guy in from Las Vegas who might do something, Crisotomo. And then there's this guy, Brian Rodriguez. They got him at the end of loan from Almera.
He's got big potential.
He's got to have potential, right? Does he play again in LAFC colors? Yes or no?
No.
I say yes, but it's like 90th minute, wasting sub time. Just get on the field and don't mess up.
I think they're gonna loan him. They're gonna try to do a loan transfer and they're gonna ship him back to somewhere in South America.
Oh yeah, I'd send him right back to wherever we took him and just see you later. They have not had a lot of good luck with these big name signings, right? Because Horta was the same way. Did you ever see the LAFC documentary?
I saw a couple episodes. I still have to finish the whole thing.
You got to watch the whole thing. So LAFC, they're literally showing Horta in the middle of the field, and the ball gets by him, and he just stands there and watches. Bob Bradley's losing his mind on the sideline. They're like, once he left, they reported it, and he was like, yeah, Horta really doesn't want to be here. He doesn't care. So we're gonna send him back.
Yeah, they're hit or miss. Obviously, they hit like super well with Vela. Rossi.
Rossi's a good hit. Rodriguez. Diamande was a good hit. Rodriguez not so much. They're more hit than miss, I'd say, but definitely some misses in there.
Yeah. All right. Quick pause.
Wait, we got one more team.
It's a really quick pause. All right.
LA
Galaxy.
LA Galaxy, the final team.
2 hours in.
2 hours in. Connor's going to work his magic. Gio Gonzalez loaned out to Alajuelense in Costa Rica. The amount of times that we talk about that team, I really should know how to say that name by now. And then Josh Drack drops down to LA2. They got a few LA2 players in. Nico Hamalayan from QPR on loan, and the big one that just went through, a couple days ago, Dejan Jovelicic from Frankfurt for $3.85 million, a striker. A good signing, but kind of questionable considering they play 4-3-3 and they have this other guy, Hernandez, that goes up there. I haven't really heard of him, but I've heard he's not too bad.
No, but he can't stay healthy right now.
Yeah, my guess is they're going to play him in behind when he's healthy. He'll go up top to start, but my guess is he'll go in behind and be like play off of him type of thing. But this is a big one. He had a lot of potential, and I heard there were a lot of other teams looking for him. So this is a pretty good one for them. It's all about how they use him, right? Like if they start throwing him out on the wing and he stops, he stops producing and they ruin him, that's one thing. But I'm just looking up here really quick. News. I'm trying to figure out who else was in on this guy. But anyways, your thoughts on the transfers?
It was good. I think it's a good transfer for them. They needed depth there.
Come through the gate.
that out.
We're gonna have to cut so much. He signed a 4.5-year contract. Yeah, he was with Red Star before that, then went to Eintracht. He played at Anderlecht and Wolfsburg. He's got tons of European experience. A long deal in MLS. I like this note here. A European youngster on 4.5 years that has not. It's a long contract for something that usually doesn't pay out. But hopefully Greg Vanney can break the mold. I can't see who else was in, but I've heard that there were other teams in. So
Yeah, I'll give it a B.
I
Or B
will
minus.
give it a B. I will go B because I think Gio Gonzalez was a bad player for them. I just
Yeah. Addition by subtraction.
Yep. So B, and that's it. Time. What happened? What are we opening up here? Oh, my computer's going crazy. That's a sign that we got to end it. So those are our very quick reactions to transfers and All-Star game roster. Let us know what you think by tweeting at us hashtag DPPod reactions. Yeah, that's what we'll do. And then make sure you're following us everywhere to tweet at us or hashtag at us: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Should make a MySpace page, reach all the older viewers. Make sure you're following us everywhere you get your podcast as well, so you know when we go live. And do you have anything else to add, Connor?
No, I don't. I'm excited for our next episode, whatever that may be.
It'll probably. I feel like we're doing a kind of off and on, live stream 1 week, record 1 week, live stream 1 week, record.
I think we just live stream. We don't have any ideas.
No, we have plenty of ideas. We just never have them ready to go. But that is our episode. We hope you guys enjoyed. We hope it's not too long. If it is, we'll fix it. Connor will fix it. Go Connor. All right, y'all. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Designated Players Podcast. See ya.